Hi, this is Sharon from justmyblogtalk.com, Whitecap, and I have a story for you. The story's about me. I am a retired teacher, and I have lived with a handicapping condition since birth. I was born wall-eyed. Besides being wall-eyed, I also was born with problem with my legs and my feet, and I had to wear braces for the longest time um, just so I could learn to walk. But when it came to my eyesight, and I was born wall-eyed, in case you don't know what that is, it's where you're not cross-eyed, your eyes go in the other direction. So it took 3 operations, plus my parents putting their house, having their house have a second mortgage on it to cover the cost, because they had to go to a doctor that was the second best in the country to be able to do what only he could do, that was to, straighten my eyes out. But even though I had these operations, it did not prevent me from having visual difficulties. And as a classroom teacher with 40 years of experience, yes, I was in the classroom, I taught for 40 years, I never was able to really move up in the field of education because it meant driving to different places. And it meant being able to see the road. And a GPS would not help me. I'd have to know I'd have to be able to see where to turn at, not to make the wrong decision and run into a ditch or a curb, or actually in the middle of the intersection. These things I've done. So yeah, so I've had to live with this. And people who know me best know that I've always had to ask for, lift to get here to there, especially when we had to go to different conferences and things like that as a teacher. I would get with one of my good friends and they would either pick me up or I'd meet them where I could meet them at, and then I would ride with them. So imagine my surprise when I became a designer for VIDA. I mean, it was something that I never would have thought about doing, and it just came quite by accident. My publisher, Bob Reese, who is the owner of Aerobook Publishing, and I work with him as a children's author for science fiction chapter books. And he's the best artist ever. I mean, he found out about VIDA. They had actually come to him and asked him if he would like to submit some of his artwork because they were interested in him. But Bob declined. But he did fill me in on VIDA, and I thought, well, let me check them out just out of curiosity, Well, it turns out that they take photographs. They would accept photographs if you know what to do with them. Well, as a classroom teacher, you have to know how to use the computer, and you have to be able to do certain things, certain tasks. That makes you a better educator. So there's things I have learned as being an educator. So I'm lucky that I have that experience. So I decided, why not? I had something that I thought was a good picture. And it was a good picture of Goku, our family cat. And you can see Goku's eyes there. He has green eyes and gray fur. And he is an absolutely beautiful cat. Well, this modern tea started really taking off. People were interested in purchasing this modern tea. And that's what gave me my start. And they're still buying it. I mean, it is very popular, and I am very happy over this. Then I decided, well, I'll go a little bit further. So I have a recent line called the Meow Collection. And this is taking patches, and you can see her on this modern tea, and this is like an abstract modern tea. And then I used her also on this Cupra skirt and on this statement clutch. There's the ears right there. So those designs have been taken off as well, and I am very, very excited over this. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about my eyesight. When I was in college to become a teacher, I had to take an art class. And I was praying just to pass the class, because whatever I did on realistic drawings and so forth, contemporary, whatever, I was always the one that the professor would pick and show the artwork to everybody else as, this is the example of what you don't do. You don't want to draw like this. And then she would go into a little bit more of an explanation, and I really felt like, crawling underneath my desk. I was just lucky she didn't give out my name, because because I could cover it up. I don't know who that is, or who is that, But I found out later that I was good with abstract, and she had actually complimented me on a piece of work that I had done. So in other words, I made it out of that art class by the abstract work that I was able to do. So the reason for this video is not just to promote my collection, but it is also to say that just because you think you can't do something, you might be wrong. Just because you can't do this doesn't mean that you can't do that. And so just take it from me, someone who has a visual impairment, a visual problem, that sometimes things just happen, and just be grateful when they do. All right, if you want to know more about my collection, please go to, you can go to shopvida.com. My name is Sharon Oburn. Or you can just go to my blog talk, justmyblogtalk.com, and learn more about this article. All right, thank you. See you later. Bye.